So guys, you were looking forward to this wonderful event that is International Speech Contest and TT Contest. I know you all wanted to showcase your talent. It is going to held on the first week of March. Prepare yourself to with your speeches. Get ready for that event. Nominate yourself. And somebody who has a doubt, should I nominate for the speech competition? You have an option. You can take up a role player and you see how the others are doing. And next year, you can participate yourself in this event. Okay, let's go to the award segment. In our Toastmaster meeting, we recognize the following categories with awards. Best Prepared Speaker Award and Best Table Topic Speaker Award and Best Role Player Award and on Johnny on the Spot. And did you, any guesses who will be the best prepared speaker? Who spoke best speech? He is the best prepared speaker. He got the best prepared speech award goes to best prepared speaker. And best table topic speaker award goes to best table topic speaker. And best role player award goes to best role player. Johnny on the spot goes to Johnny on the spot. And all their names will be in a while we'll be posting in the chat box. Is there any more guest? Still timer. Sabari has joined.
Yeah, I have joined.
Okay, that's great. So thank you, TM Modi, for conducting such a difficult session in most interesting way.
As I have been talking about coffee throughout this meeting, probably you just skip over dinner and straight go to have a cup of coffee, or probably more than a cup of coffee. But I'm never done. I do have one more interesting topic to share with you. That is one question. I will to start with the questions. Does anyone know the world's most expensive coffee? Do you know the coffee name as well as how much it is costed? You can unmute and you can say.
Coffee made of cat's excreta.
Again.
Correct. Correct. And do you know the name? Sorry, I missed it. Suppose if you had already said.
No, I don't remember the name and the species of the cat.
Okay. So that is Lua coffee actually. Thank you, guest Venkat, for telling that. The Lua coffee is the world's most expensive coffee, and it costs around €55 a cup of coffee, or in some says that it more than that, it might go nearly $500 US dollar. You may wonder what is that in that Lua coffee preparation. But if I say that, you probably lose your uh, energy for this meeting. It's a disgusting process of making that coffee. So I would like to avoid that. But since I'm going to tell one more time that it's a Lua coffee. You just go and Google it. Probably you can come to know how it made. But even though it's disgusting, I tasted once. The process of preparing is disgusting, but the taste was a little tanginess. When I was in Indonesia, I tasted once. Since they said it was the world's most expensive coffee, I never thought of how it was made, but I had it once. So it was an amazing coffee journey. I don't know why people costed this much of amount for that. But if you want to try that, you don't Google it. Just try the coffee and then Google it. So thank you, GE General Evaluator Toastmaster Pradeep, for his amazing evaluation, and thanking his whole team for this comprehensive evaluation.
Good evening to one and all. Thank you, GAD team, grammarian, accounter, and timer team for the wonderful evaluation. Now I'll proceed with my GE report. So it's a bit disappointing that in the history of Toastmaster, for the first time, we are starting the meeting 1.5 hours late. So it has never started at 8:30 p.m. So it's an disappointment, and the tag team should make a note of it. From next time, you have to start on time. The punctuality is very, very important in life. 5-10 minutes is adjustable. So far, we are managing with 5 minutes, but today it is 1.5 hours. It's going beyond the limit. So please make a note of it. Coming to my GAT team report. So grammarian Sharmista did a wonderful role today. So whatever has gone wrong or whatever is not used properly, she gave a proper example of how it should have been used. So that was a wonderful thing in today's meeting. So she explained the right way of each and every word, how it should have been used and with a proper example. So it was wonderful to hear from her. Then coming to the timer was every time waving the hand in addition to the whatever the green, yellow, and red card. So he was very careful that he want to make the attention of the speaker to start the speech. So that was wonderful today. So kudos to the timer for using this new technique along with your time card. And coming to the accounter gave a wonderful introduction of what the accounter report is all about. So he has explained about what is ethical and non-ethical, what are the fillers, different types of fillers, why it interrupts the speech, why it should be avoided. The intro part was very good today. So we can make it a good practice so that the guest will understand better what the accounter is all about. I loved that part. And coming to the table topic session, the topics were too lengthy. It could have been a bit shorter. So even before they could understand the topic and pronounce it once, half of the time is gone. So next time we can make a note of it. It can be short and lovely and short and crisp, in fact. So that is one suggestion for the table topic master. And for the TMOD, it was a wonderful intro. So you explained the word of the day with a coffee mug in hand, sipping the coffee. That was something which easily percolated into the mind of the people. And it was wonderful. So I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. Now I request the grammarian Sharmista to please share the grammarian report.
Hello everyone. Okay, just give me 2 minutes to like process it.
We're already running late.
Yeah, I get it. So starting with this is not easy at all. Okay, starting with the evaluators. They have given a very beautiful evaluation, and they had very beautiful word in their while giving their evaluation. They use the word. They tried to use a theme of the day, coffee. So they evaluator Toastmaster Kritika had used the word coffee in her evaluation one time, and she used the word predominantly so many times. So it is like kind of imprinted in my brain right now. So yeah, kudos to that. She used the word of the day predominantly one times, and she was made sure that she used the idiom of the day, wake up and smell the coffee once. So yeah, clap for her. Then coming to the first evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Kavita. She also used the theme of the day, coffee, 2 times in her evaluation, and she used the word predominantly once, and she used the idiom of the day, wake up and smell the coffee once. And coming to her, the usage and the pronunciation of her language was amazing. All the pronunciation of her words were very clear, and I couldn't see any grammatical mistake over there. Now coming to Toastmaster, TT Master of the Day, his topics were amazing, and all the TT speakers tried their level best to use the word and theme of the day in their speeches. And coming to the second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Dinesh, he also very proactively used the theme of the day and word of the day. He used word of the day like to make sure that he uses word of the day. He stood in his place once and used predominantly, at least he said that 10 times in a row, so that he was trying to get the spontaneous Toastmasters award, or I don't know, that he was trying to do. So kudos to that. And he had a very wonderful language. He used words like flabbergasted and amazing, out and gushing, all those words he used in his entire speech. So, and I couldn't find any grammatical mistake over there as well. And then coming to speaker number speaker number 2, Toastmaster Abhinav. He also used theme of the day, coffee, in his speech, and he used very beautiful phrases like I was dissolving in her depth of her eyes in his speech, and he even stood once and started singing, said a Hindi phrase. I was Hindi phrase like प्यार किया तो डरना क्या, just to bring more emphasis of how his soulmate is. So that was very deep. So you are allowed to use a Hindi phrase just to show how deep your love connection for the pursuit of your soulmate is. And and coming to the presiding officers, he also used word and theme of the day very nicely. So as a grammarian, I'm supposed to keep a note of all the good usages and not so good usages of the English language. And I am also here to keep a track of how many times the Toastmasters use the word of the day, the theme of the day, and even the idiom of the day in their speeches. Thank you so much. Back to grammarian Toastmaster Pradeep.
Thank you, Accounter Pranav, for the insightful Accounter report.
With this, I'll conclude my counter report. As you can see, G, we are starting with the G. He has coughed 2 times during his speeches. I don't know, it's like a filler count. Is a new filler word that he has invented, that I'm not sure. Then he used the word like more than 5 times in his speeches. Then we have tag role players. Surprisingly, they haven't used any much filler words except Coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster Kavita had 2 long pauses between her speeches, and surprisingly, Toastmaster Kritika invented another new filler word, which is quack, like a duck. She has used multiple times, like 3 times at least, that I have recorded. And Abhinav also used 2 pauses in between his speeches, and the word like. Probably it is related to the love he felt for his girl. So he also used like 3 times. Dinesh used the word 4 times. And also he coughed like Pradeep sir 2 times in between the speeches. All TT Master had no filler words, but he stopped for a while abruptly, which happened multiple times. Like something he said a sentence, then stopped for no reason. The essay has a really special word. He like coffee. Like he thinks about the theme of the day even before the meeting started. So he's been thinking about coffee and he's forgetting that his essay and he has to give the speech. That needs to be taken care of. So the premise of all this thing is there are a lot of interruptions in our speech that break our flow, which makes the audience a bit distracted and confused. To avoid that, as a counter, I have an important role to count the speeches, the filler words, then let the person know about their filler count so that he will be improving their count report. the accounts in their upcoming speeches. With this, I'm Prano. Today I will be giving my accountant report. And thank you, Pradeep Valon sir, for calling me on the dais.
Thank you, Timer, for your very precise timer report today.
Over to you, GE Pradeep sir. I like the sound from the Virat's bat when he times the cover drive to perfection. Similarly, our speakers also timed their speeches to perfection. Kudos to them. Like helicopters being floated in the air on T20 matches by MSD, our TT masters and TT speakers had utilized the given time and completed their speeches in the stipulated time. All speakers and TT speakers are qualified. My role as a timer is to keep the time for all the speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within the time limit provided to them. This ensures the meeting to run on time. To help me to do this, I have 3 color cue cards with me. I will raise and I will change my background to green. Is my background is changing? Yeah. In green to green color when he reaches the first time limit, and amber when he reaches the mid time, and red when he reaches the end time. And a grace period of 30 seconds will be provided after the stipulated time. At the end of the meeting, I will present my report when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. Thank you, GE Pradeep sir.
Thank you, TM Modi, for the wonderful introduction. Now I will first we'll have the report of the GAT team, GAT team, which will be followed by my general evaluation report. First, I request the timer, TM Sabari, to please give the timer report.
I think Kavita ma'am has to give the evaluation now.
Pradeep sir should thank a speech evaluator.
Yeah. Okay, speech evaluation. Okay, fine. Sorry. So first we will listen to the speech evaluation. I request the Toastmaster Kavita to please evaluate the second speaker of the day. Welcome, Toastmaster Kavita, on the stage, please.
Yeah. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What a splendid speech, TM Dinesh. It was like sipping the strong filter coffee early in the morning, which drove me crazy. And I hope it would have done the same to most of the audience. It's not only wake up and smell the coffee. It was drinking the last drop of the coffee from the cup. The way you connected with the audience was amazing. I really like the way you enacted, especially the way you danced for your own poem. That has a high impact on all the audience. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for that, Dinesh. It was amazing. And your speeches so far was predominantly on the role-based. You modulate your voice. And this time it was totally different. You were connecting with the audience with no topic. You are a great speaker. You can speak on anything and connect to the audience on any topic. So no topic is not a matter for you at all. And I really enjoyed the humor part of your speech. And again, it was, I hope I satisfied the evaluation part. And thanks for the good speech, Dinesh. I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kritika, for the evaluation of the first speech. Now we'll move on to the second speech evaluation by Toastmaster Kavita.
TM Modi, can I get a good cup of coffee, please? Overall, Abhinav, in search of your soulmate, you have certainly won our hearts with your speech. Now we know what kind of research the bachelors do to find their soulmate. You certainly have done your research and presented to us in a very understandable manner. You predominantly won our hearts, but not our souls. Quack, quack. As a Toastmaster, let me suggest the two little modifications in your script that could make you even a better speaker. Number one, adding humor to your story. We all have seen enough that one place where humor works the best is about when you're recounting your true love life, and that was missing in your speech. Number two, get down on your knees. You know that a girl loves a dramatic proposal than just a casual one. That has been the predominant reaction from many of the girls. So try to bring in a lot of action in your speech. Your speech undoubtedly had a lot of positives, from your speech title to the confidence with which you spoke from the start till the end. Your topic was like waking up and smelling a good cup of coffee. You certainly demonstrated to us that you are developing yourself as a great speaker. Quack, quack. Being a research project, we were able to see that you have not only done your homework, but also presented to us all the details that also connected with us. Special good evening to my target speaker, Abhinav, and good evening to fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Thank you, TM Modi, for the nice introduction. So earlier, the so used to be part of my speech. I used to use so many times, but unfortunately, I was concentrating only on so, and now so has diminished from my speech, and like has become part of my speech. Even though I don't like the word like, now the word like has become unavoidable. Whether I like or don't like has become part of the speech, and I'm continuing my Toastmaster journey to get rid of the like. So this is how life goes on. When you better improve one area, there will be always scope for improvement in the new area. So that's how I'm the most or the longest tenure surviving Toastmaster in this club. So I look forward for the Toastmaster journey in future too. Now, without taking much of the time, I request Toastmaster Kritika to please come onto the stage to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Abhinav.
Well, it's time to go for the evaluation. We have our veteran Toastmaster, that is Toastmaster Pradeep, is the GE for the day. I'd like to go some facts about coffee. The Netherlands are usually consuming more coffee, and the fight between whether the coffee is good or tea is good it's been a topic for every day, and it is not end. But despite this coffee love, the story which we are having with this coffee, I just went back to history and I searched it. Some fact about any hates are there. And I do notice that in 6th century, there are few people, they felt that coffee had to be banned. The reason they felt it, they claimed that coffee led to radical thinking and it might ask that ideology has been questioned. That's a fear that a few people had. But as usual, the coffee lover said, okay, wake up and smell the coffee. It's not just what you think. It is so simple. Coffee has caffeine predominantly. Because of that, people feel energetic for some time. That's a story of the conflicts which we have. Oh, though we have so many conversation about coffee, there are some people claim that, I don't know whether it is true or not. Some people claim that people who consume coffee more live longer. After hearing this news, you don't run behind the coffee and don't be addicted to coffee too much. And if you had, don't blame me back. So, well, the moment I said fun Bobby of our club is Toastmaster Sendil, he always come up with amazing TT session. And once we had a session in which he didn't give the topic, he didn't announce the topic to everyone, but to the speaker. And at the end of the TT speaker, we all guessed it. But it's going to be a twist in here, and I'm so much to see that. It was an amazing TT session conducted by Fun Bobby. I gave his name, and he's holding and he's going to hold for this tenure.
Thank you, Tia Moody. Now the stage is yours. We had a very good table topic segment today. All the speakers spoke well spontaneously, thinking on your feet. Even when you struggled a little initially or talking on the topic that I have given to you, you all have attempted it boldly and you did well. A table topic segment helps you develop speech skills for practically for everyday situation that you encounter. Let me reiterate how did we conduct the topic segment today. I was the TT master. I called the speaker and gave the topic to the speaker to speak on. Speaker got the speech time of 1 to 2 minutes. Timer alerted him or her at 1 minute with green card, at 1 minute 30 seconds with yellow card, and at 2 minutes with red card. Speaker had got 30 seconds to grace time to wrap up his or her speech. Speaker who spoke less than 1 minute and more than 2 minutes 30 seconds were not eligible for voting. These were the rules that we had in this TT segments. Okay, guys, we come to an end of TT segment session. Very good speech by our fourth table topic speaker, TM Arun, who spoke on your experience of reverse walking.
Right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Senthil Kumaran, for the topic. My experience on reverse walking basically started when I first time saw a video of Prabhudeva dancing and doing the moonwalk, which is typically how which is a style of dancing that Michael Jackson introduced back in 90s. So that this is where it looks like you're walking, but it also looks like the floor is moving forward. So you're in the same place, but you move backwards. So that is called the moonwalk. And that is where I started. That's when I saw Prabhudeva do that. I was totally capsulated by that. So I started walking in the reverse wherever I could. And after that, I started running in reverse. So to catch a bus, I would run backwards. But there are advantages with this also, right? So that I can see who's coming behind me. I will also know as in behind me, as in who's coming at me in front of me because I'm running backwards to catch the bus. It also helps. Uh, it also helps when you are getting chased by a dog or there's someone chasing you with a broomstick or a chappal or something like that. So you know at what distance they are coming and you can pace yourself properly. So that this helps you conserve a lot of energy. You don't have to run. Sometimes it happens when I used to walk forward, I used to run a long distance and then notice that the dog was not at all interested in me and it just went away. So nowadays I know it that the dog is interested in me and it keeps chasing me till a certain point in while I'm running. Thank you. Am I audible and visible? I'll try the next speech. Please give me an easy one, Toastmaster Sandil.
Thank you, TM Arun, for showing interest. I've been asking for people to nominate themselves. Finally, you nominated yourself. Thank you, TM Arun. Your experience of reverse walking, reverse walking, TM Arun. Toastmasters and guests, come forward. Use this opportunity to test yourself, your spontaneous speech skill. That's great, TM Kritika. It was a wonderful speech on sketching on the sky.
Over to you, TT Master Sendil. Sketching on the sky is always a great way. It's like almost like daydreaming. You can do anything you want and dream and start drawing, picturizing about it at the sky, because the sky is so vast and you know you can just keep imagining and keep drawing whatever that keeps coming to your mind, and there is no end to it. So that is what sky drawing could do to you. And most of the times I would see that all the creative people keep getting lot of their creative thoughts from the sky only, including somebody I think who had an apple drop on his head. I forgot that scientist's name, but most of the time they keep getting these ideas. Even one more scientist who was actually taking bath but was wondering on his bathtub and looking at the top of the sky, and actually got that idea. So I think all we can understand is that most of the creative ideas keeps coming from the sky, and drawing your ideas on the sky makes it even more realistic. Thank you very much for the toughest topic, Toastmasters Sendil. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Guys, nominate yourself so that we can finish the meeting on time. TM Kritika, it's great you have raised your hand. TM Kritika, sketching on the sky, sketching on the sky. TM Kritika. See,
So Karupasamy has raised his hand along that.
yeah. Don't interrupt. Flow will be last.
Yeah, good evening. This is Karupasamy from Rising Pillars. I'm from L&T Kanjipuram.
Okay.
See, some different type of table topic is going on. I don't know the rules and regulations. Maybe if you explain me, I can also participate.
Okay.
Sarmishta is drinking coffee in a
today,
cup. So
okay, I actually give you a quick idea. Instead of counting 1 to 10, today we are counting from 10 to 1. That is the reverse order we are going in. So you have shown interested yourself, how you have shown interest yourself to speak on table topics now. So that's how I'm requesting others to also come forward and take the table topics segment. Thank you, TM Karupasamy. Nicely, you shared your experience of how your experience of stepping back moment.
see, tempting back moments.
Stepping back moment.
Moments.
You already spoke. I am again reminding you a topic.
Thank you so much, TT Master, for a wonderful subject. See, for everyone, for every human being, see, we have experiencing some tempting moments during festival days. See, during last Deepavali and Pongal, my wife used to give surprise in some work. See, whenever, last week, not last week, last year, one of my senior called me for a festival at his home. What happened? His wife told him to buy coconut for puja. He purchased the puja. He purchased the coconut and brought home. When she started opening that cover, it was broken into pieces. So the wife was shouting at him, yo, Pavi Manisa. நான் உன்னை வந்து தேங்காய் உடைச்சு வாங்கிட்டு வர சொல்லி முழுசா தானே தேங்காய் மட்டும் தானே வாங்கிட்டு வர சொன்னேன் ஏன் why you broken into pieces. Then my senior was answering, see Mallika, see last time when I purchased the full coconut, you only told it is rotten. Whenever you buy coconut, you break it and check. See, now also I checked and brought it. What is wrong in that? Like that he answered. See, there was a funny as well as surprise moment for us during that festival day, last Deepavali. Over to you. Thank you, TT Master.
TM Karpasamy, though you joined in the middle of the meeting, you immediately nominated yourself for the speaker. I appreciate that. TM Karpasamy, stepping back moment, TM Karpasamy. Who is our next speaker? While I'm asking for the next speaker, I appreciate TM Raja shown interest to be our first speaker, though, and after a very long time he had joined and he shown interest for speaking on the table topics segment, and he spoke very nicely. Since he is a creative person, he spoke very nicely on the topic of rocket digging inside the earth.
Thank you. Over to you, TT Master. The thing I spoke about is that last time when you said rocket inside and your voice is not been audible, so I guessed some topic. Whatever I spoke is not actually the one what you are expected for. Whatever that rocket is being built by national hero Abdul Kalam and people, which has been used in my speech. As such that I was very much small boy and wondered that when was the time. 1995, when that Pokhran testing was done by Abdul Kalam sir, all the universe was been thundering that who did it, how he did it, and what are all the things he has done on that part. But what is actually surprised me, this I came to know in the time of 2004 after I joined my college. And the thing is that I was trying to connect the topic, but the problem is that your voice is not audible during the time of you given my topic. I'm sorry, I conclude the speech here itself.
Thank you, TM Raja. TM Raja, rocket digging inside the earth, rocking digging inside the earth, TM Raja. Hi all, I am the table topic masters who is going to conduct this table topic segment. I call the speaker and give the topic to the speaker and he has to speak on the topic. Speaker got the speech time of 1 to 2 minutes. Timer will alert him on 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds and at 2 minutes, and also you get 30 seconds grace time to wrap up your speech. Speaker who spoke less than 1 minute and more than 2 minutes 30 seconds are not eligible for voting. Thank you to you, Modi, for such a wonderful introduction about me. I was flattered. Can you put me in spotlight, TM Modi?
Well, now it's time for our next segment, which is table topic. We have our fun hobby, that is Toastmasters Ascendant. Well, since the topic is all about coffee, and as I was born in and brought up in Kumbakonam, if I don't talk about Kumbakonam degree coffee, then that shouldn't be right. So you all know about Kumbakonam degree coffee. I recently heard what is the secret of having a perfect Kumbakonam coffee. Before going to tell what is the secret, it may be is the right one or wrong, because I heard this from my gossiping girl, that is my sister. It may be true or wrong, but I would like to talk about the Kumbakonam degree coffee, which is being sold in our national highways. If I approach there to have this Kumbakonam degree coffee, this is not at all equal. This is not at all a 0% near to the actual Kumbakonam degree coffee. So the Kumbakonam degree coffee is actually filter coffee. Instant coffee is not this category. So you should have some patience to prepare this. So what's the difference? So Kumbakonam Degree Coffee, we have our own special vendors. If you buy Kumbakonam Degree Coffee from them, and probably the taste, what you hear, what you tasting it is almost equal. So there is one secret when you prepare this filter coffee. You have to actually roast the white sugar, and then you have to add your filter coffee into it. And also, if you really want to know how the filter coffee tastes, when it is served to you, it is not going to be a piping hot coffee. So the moment it is served, you should have the urge to drink as quick as possible because the heat is medium only. That's actually they don't brewing the milk and they just heat it for some point and just put it together with filter. So that's the difference between normal coffee and Kumbakonam Degree coffee. Well, thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh, for his amazing speech, especially um, the recent days you were so charmful. I don't know why, and that came to a speech as well.
Over to you, TMOD. If you're looking at the screen right now, may God save you for the next 5 to 7 minutes. I'm not responsible for whatever you're going to hear. Please forgive me. Will you believe if I say the original version of this image, when I say image, not the painting, it's JPEG.jpeg format file. The file name was The Merge, and it was sold for $91.8 million. That is approximately 633 crores. Will you believe? Will you believe if I say this JPEG image, which is nothing but a collection of 5,000 drawings of a person called Beeple who drew for the first 5,000 days, was sold for $69.3 million. That is approximately 478 crores. Will you believe? Will you believe this Pune couple just had their wedding in the blockchain recently? Good evening, Toastmasters, friends, and the people who are yet to get married. Are you curious to know about this blockchain wedding? Before that, let me explain what is this all about. Whatever you have seen right now is NFT. Can anyone tell what is NFT?
Non-fungible token.
Very good. Thank you. For the benefit of guests and for the people who are interested to explain in detail, let me bring the digital version of GD and explain the NFT. What is NFT? NFTs are basically a copyrighted material and it will have a digital signature and it is safe and secure and you can buy it and you can save it in any different format and in online and you can buy it with the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Non-fungible. Basically, it is not interchangeable. It is unique in nature. What is fungible then? Fungible means it is interchangeable and you can change it a number of times. For example, you have $100 with you and you can interchange with $20 of 5 or 50-50. If you have an image, you can't replicate it. Even though if you replicate it, it can't be the unique one. So NFTs have distinguishable information on online and you will know who is the owner and who is the seller and who is the one who created that NFT. To put it simple, if you are creating a PDF file, you know who is the author of the PDF file because that is saved because of the system settings that you are in. But if you create a PDF file And if you put it on online, and if you want to retain that you are the owner of the PDF file, you have to make it as an NFT, non-fungible token. And where do you do it? You can do it in the blockchain system, ecosystem. Just like our bank maintains a register of who is sending money to whom and who is the person who is created this request. Blockchain is a system where you have an online invisible ledger form, and that ledger will have the information of so and so material or so and so product is being sold by so and so person to so and so person. So for anything that you have in blockchain, you can have the unique identity. You can take image of yours and you can convert it and you can get the NFT tag. See, you can take the screenshot of the current meeting and you can create a number of copies, but that copy will not be unique as like the original, because original was taken by you at that moment in your system. So it will have its own meta properties. So that will define the uniqueness. So when you are uploading the document in the blockchain system and make it as a NFT, you have to define all these unique properties so that whoever gets this NFT, they will know who is the actual owner. And NFTs can be created in multiple forms. Like you can convert your arts, nothing but if you have a painting, you can convert it as a JPEG image and you can convert it in NFT. Or if you have a collectible, say for example, you are a person who has stamps and you want to make it as an online one and you want to sell it to a people, you can collect that as collectible NFTs, like music NFTs, game NFTs. There are many types of NFTs which are available. Okay, I have NFTs. I've created NFTs. How to and where to sell. So just like we have this banks or the stock market, we have a separate market for NFTs as well. And one of the market is OpenSea. To put in simple terms, OpenSea is a website where you can create an NFT and you can sell an NFT. And the NFT can be resold by the person who bought it. And you may get a royalty also for the first original NFT that you have created. And in market share, OpenSea is the biggest one where many people are purchasing and selling NFTs. And all users are buying these NFTs through cryptocurrency called Ethereum. So there are many NFT markets which has different crypto coins, but OpenSea uses Ethereum. To explain in simple terms how to create an NFT and sell it. So assuming that you are an artist, you created a product, you convert it into JPEG, and you go to a OpenSea marketplace and sell it and create an NFT by paying an initial fee that is got nothing but gas fee. Before that, you should have a crypto wallet in some other third-party applications like Coinbase or any other third-party applications. You should have a crypto wallet. You should link it with the OpenSea and you create an NFT, and you have to define the meta properties of that particular product and you sell it to the market, and people will bid for it, and whoever bids the highest, you can sell it to them. So it is your image, you convert it into an NFT, you sold it, and you will get the money back. If you are so far clear, let me explain this blockchain wedding. So what this couple has done is, whatever the image that you're seeing on the right side, it is the image of the girl with the engagement ring and also a contract or a oath which was taken by the bride and groom. So they took this image and they gave it to the digital priest who converted it as an NFT, and they arranged a Google Meet kind of meeting, and the priest asked the groom to buy this NFT from the OpenSea marketplace, and he bought it and he sold that NFT back to the bride's crypto wallet. So that's how the blockchain wedding has happened. If you are in the new age and if you want to try this, try creating NFT. If today you don't know about what is NFT, then it is fine. But after 5 years, if you still don't know about NFT, then you are not in a very good state. Thank you, TMOD.
Toastmaster Dinesh, the stage is yours. Toastmaster Kavita, thank you for reading out the Toastmaster Dinesh speech objective.
You're on mute now.
No, that also it is in the reverse order. So you had to say her. Then
Oh,
you
sorry.
say-
I was muted. Okay, sorry, I was muted. I was talking and then I was muted. I realized it. Sorry about it. TM Dinesh, no title. No title, TM Dinesh. The purpose of the purpose of TM Dinesh project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Thank you.
Before welcoming the second speaker, Toastmaster Dinesh, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Kavita for reading the objectives. Thank you. Now it's time to move on to our first speaker, Toastmaster Abhinav. It was an amazing speech, especially when you talk about your love life.
Over to you, TMOD. Have you ever found your soulmate? That one person in 775 crore people in this world who is just made for you? Well, I found mine last week. Dear Toastmasters, last week when I went to my native, my amama pulled out this photo from her diary, showed it to me, and said, "This girl is your soulmate." I was excited. This one's for you, grammarian. I was dissolving in her and said, "How did you find her?" She remained silent for a few minutes, basking in her glorious moment, and in a triumphant voice said, "Renji Panikar told me this." Renji who? My amama was shocked. "You don't know Renji Panikar?" "No." "He's the most famous astrologer in Kerala." Now, my amama has perfectly fine vision, but astrology is something she believes blindly. I was never interested in astrology before, but now it's a matter of my soulmate. This one's for you, grammarian. Pyar kiya to darna kya. I decided to research on astrology. I wondered, when did it all start? Well, it originated 2,400 years ago in a city called Chaldea in Babylon. They had a lot of beliefs and superstitions on extraterrestrial bodies. For example, they believed that the thundering was the angers of God, or the solar eclipse was an attack on their king by the gods. But according to astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, we can't blame them for having such beliefs, because at that time, science wasn't that advanced. What happened to them instead was a false cause-effect relationship. What is a false cause-effect relationship? I'll explain to you. Okay, that one was for the accounter. Let's say a thorn comes and pricks on me, and at the same time, my amama is passing by. Here, the effect is the thorn pricking on me and the pain. But the cause for the pain, is it the thorn falling or my amama passing by? If I'm blaming my amama passing by for the pain, that is a false cause and effect. Now, I explained this to my amama. See, amama, in olden days, kids born in summer is healthier than kids born in winter. This is because in summer, it is harvest season. The climate is perfect and the conditions are ideal. But back then, people didn't have knowledge about nutrition. So they thought it was due to the position of sun during summer that the kid was healthy. See, my amama is a stubborn lady. So much so that she told me that astrology is scientific. I decided to delve deeper into my research. And that's when I came across three scientists, Paul Kurtz, Lawrence Jerome, and Bart Slock. In 1975, these three scientists released a statement which was signed by 190 Nobel Prize winners. The statement was this: astrology is pseudoscience. Now my Amama is 80 years old and she knows a thing or two about science. She folded her arms, looked at me, and with a stern expression said, "But planets do exert force on us. Their positions does matter." But now I was prepared. I had done my homework. So I told, "See, Amama, there are basically four fundamental forces in physics. The first one is small force. The second one is the strong force. The first one is the weak force. Second one is the strong force. The third one is the electromagnetic force, and the fourth one is the gravitational force." Now, the first two forces, strong force and weak force, these are atomic forces. So the moon is not going to assert on you. The third force, that is the electromagnetic force. See, Jupiter has the largest electromagnetic field, and the force exerted by Jupiter's electromagnetic field on us is even lesser than the electromagnetic force of the bread toaster we have. So if anything, be concerned about the position of the bread toaster. And coming to the fourth force, that is gravitational force. With your mass of 70 kg and the distance between you and moon of 3 lakh kilometers, that force is also negligible. Hence, no Amama, planets don't assert significant forces on us. My Amama is stubborn as well as 80 years old. She refused to believe this. And by this time, I understood that this has nothing to do with science, but it has more to do with psychology, especially with two things named confirmation bias and the Barnum effect. So I'll explain what a confirmation bias is. Confirmation bias is basically when, let's say, my Amama went and met the astrologer for 10 times, and 7 out of 10 times the astrologers predicted wrong. But where will my Amama focus on? It will be on the 3 times when he got it right. So irrespective of explaining the false cause effect as well as the forces that is exerted on us or on the claim made by the 3 scientists, I realized that Amama is not going to change, and I had to accept that she will believe in astrology, which is fine. Astrology is harmless. Sometimes it's entertaining even. I mean, astrology doesn't cause us war as religion does, so it's okay. But coming to my research, after my research, I realized that astrology is not going to give my soulmate. So I did some mathematics and probability. And TMOD, do you know what is the probability to find a soulmate? It's not kneeling down on your knees. It's just 0.01% of probability. Seems impossible, doesn't it? Well, no worries. Just see an astrologer. Over to you.
Team Abhinav, the stage is yours. Team Kritika, thank you for reading out Toastmaster Abhinav's speech objectives.
Thank you, TMOD. Today, Abhinav will be giving his level 1 P3 speech, researching and presenting in dynamic leadership pathway. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. All the best. Abhinav, over to you, TMOD.
Before welcoming our first speaker, I would like to welcome Toastmaster Kritika for reading out the objectives. The first prepared speaker was Toastmaster Abhinav. Welcome, Toastmaster Abhinav. Now it's time to move on to our next session, which is prepared speech section. Well, as of now, I talk about history of coffee. Suppose if I list out all varieties of coffee, if it is probably 100 in number, then you come up with it. People in the meeting probably say, I know some other name. So it is not so easy to list out the different varieties of coffee. but it basically has two types, which is Arabica and Robusta. The first one, Arabica, was less popular because it has less dominant caffeine. And the second one, Robusta, is caffeine is more predominant. And because of that, we have this bitter taste. Whenever you have this coffee without milk, then you can taste that bitter taste. Even with milk, you taste that bitter taste, that because of the caffeine is predominant in that. And when you are going to buy a fresh coffee bean, what do you call? You say, can I get coffee bean? Yeah, that you usually call. But the coffee bean is technically is not a bean. It is actually a cherry-shaped berries. It's a fruit. Since the shape is kind of beans, we usually call it as a coffee bean. Technically, it is not. Thank you, General Evaluator, for introducing your teams to the meeting.
I will share my general evaluation report towards the end of the meeting when called upon by the TMOD. Over to you, TMOD. Thank you, Sharmishta, for clearly explaining the roles and responsibilities of the grammarian.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, General Evaluator, for that wonderful introduction. Me as a grammarian, I'm here to keep a track of all the speakers who are coming on the screen today, of their good usage and not so good usage of the English language, and I'm also responsible for keeping a track of the word of the day, the theme of the day, and the idiom of the day used by the users to award them with the Spontaneous Speakers Award. That's all from my end. Yeah. Back to General Evaluator.
For today's grammarian role, we have one of the most popular and charming Toastmaster of our club. So Toastmaster Sharmishta will take over the grammarian role. She will explain the roles and responsibility now. Thank you, Pranav, for briefing the accounter role so vividly and clearly to all our Toastmasters. Thank you.
At the end of the meeting, I'll be submitting my counter report when called upon by the general evaluator. So for an counter report, the duty of that person will be to count the lexical fillers, which are the filler words that you use, like and so and non-lexical fillers. Those are also filler words, but which doesn't have any meaning in English language, like that kind of sounds. And I'll note that down as a part of my report. Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep, for introducing me in such a good way. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Today's counter role is taken by one of the ever-smiling Toastmaster Pranav. Request Toastmaster Pranav to please come on to the screen and explain the roles and responsibilities of counter. Thank you, Toastmaster Sabri, for clearly explaining the role of timer to the Toastmasters and guests.
I will present my report when called upon by Toastmaster of the day. My role as a timer is to keep the time for all speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within the allotted time slot. This will also help in ensuring that the meeting runs on time. To help me to do this, I have 3 cue cards. I will raise the background to green card when the speaker hits the qualifying time. I will raise the yellow card when the speaker reaches his mid time, and I will raise the red card when the speaker reaches the end time. Speaker will also be allotted a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of the speech. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, GE Pradeep sir.
The timer for today's meeting is Toastmaster Sabri. I request Toastmaster Shabli to please come onto the screen and explain the roles and responsibilities of timer. I am the general evaluator for today's meeting. So I will make the overall note of the overall proceeding of the meeting. And towards the end of the meeting, I will be presenting my report along with my GAT team. So I am assisted by the grammarian, accounter, and timer, along with the speech evaluators to evaluate the overall meetings with very specified objectives. Now I will request my tag team to explain the roles and responsibilities to you all. Thank you, Toastmaster Ilango TMOD for the day, for giving me the opportunity to take forward the GE role. Thank you.
Well, now it's time to welcome our veteran Toastmaster, General Evaluator of the Day, Toastmaster Pradeep. There are different opinions on when the coffee was born, but it is reportedly said that a person who ate a fruit from a tree called coffea, he had it at his dinner. After having this, he was energetically dancing. From that, they understood that this particular food has something predominantly that make more energetic if we had that. Then the monk know about this. Then he prepared us a coffee as a drink. Then that's a time of when the coffee was actually born. And you may all wonder, why do I choose this topic, coffee? I had a trip in Pondicherry, Oroville. I was sitting with my friend at a cafe, and while we ordering our breakfast, my friend just asked me, "Do you know that is one shelf? It has a bunch of books sitting on there. Do you know what book it is?" Then I said, "I have no idea." He actually went there, so he might know. Then I said, "I have no idea." Then he said, "All of the books are talking about coffee. The books is actually talking about all the history, stories about coffee." That's the reason I come up with the idea of talking coffee today. It is actually an advantage of having a fun Bobby as a presiding officer. The reason is the way how he started this meeting. It was an amazing introduction by presiding officer Toastmaster Sendel.
TM Milango, you are on the spotlight now. Today, to host this meeting, we have TMOD TM Ilango, who is our club president too. Today's theme is coffee and the variety is reverse order. Let's see how is he connecting these two things together. Let me say a quick hello to the guests and have some interaction. Hi, Venkat. Can you come on screen? Hi, Venkat. Hello. Are you still there? Okay, all right. It seems our guest is so busy with the other work. Let me officially open the meeting with the bang. Hello, Toastmasters. Good evening. I welcome you all to the LnT ECC Toastmasters Club meeting number 487. Today, we are going to have an interesting variety of reverse order meeting. Thank you, SAA, for excellent and energetic meeting. Can you put me on spotlight?
Toastmasters Senthil, welcome. Please grace the stage with your presence. Today's meeting presiding officer is Toastmaster Senthil. Toastmaster International is a non-profit organization for improving public speaking and leadership skills. For every Toastmaster club meeting, there are 3 ground rules. First, I request the speakers to refrain talking about 3 things in their speeches: sex, religion, and politics. Secondly, I request you all to keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Thirdly, I request the audience to turn off their microphones when a speaker is on stage. I am Sabarinathan, the Sergeant at Arms for L&T ECC Toastmaster Clubs. I would like to welcome everyone for another exciting meeting of L&T ECC Toastmaster Club. Good night, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Life is lived forward, but is judged in reverse.
I think it's time we should start the meeting.
Like all the role players are have come.
Arun has been waiting for a long time to say that statement.
Yeah.
Not a long time. Actually, I just thought I just stopped my bike now. And then I said, I'll do it. I'm on the bike.
So the meeting is officially started.
It is officially
Yeah,
started.
you can start the recording.
Just to ensure
All the role players are there. We can start. Yeah. We can